Hello guys, welcome to Comrades TV show. My name is Prince Ronnie, and of course you're the #1 online TV show here at Chuka University. In today's episode, my guys have brought one of the leading news anchor at Chuka University by the name Alvin Bendeta, and I'm going to welcome him as he's going to introduce himself. We are going to know more about Bendeta. He has been your news anchor, he has been your country music boy. Welcome. How are you, bro?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm doing very good. I thank the Lord.
Wow,
that
amazing.
I have the opportunity to be here with you. Yeah, sure.
Much welcome to Comrades TV show. At least I saw that it's cool that I call you. We have a talk together so that we can know much more about you, what you do, what keeps you going, and the rest. So maybe you can start by introducing yourself so that we can know more about you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so as you have said, my name is Alvin Bendeta. I'm a student here at Chuka University, and at the same time I'm also a journalist and news anchor at Chuka University Radio currently. I do business news, I do news anchoring for bulletin, and I'm also a country artist. I'm also a co-host, a host in country songs.
Country music. Wow, that's good. So you started when you were in first year, or you started
I started back then in second year, so this takes me down now to 2 years.
2 years of experience. Wow, that's nice. Okay, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your background.
My background in terms of my family.
Family.
Where I'm from. Okay.
Where you're from. We need to know about you.
Let me say, maybe many are asking where am I from. I mean, I really confuse quite a lot of people with how I speak, so I find some, are you really from Kenya? I'm like, yeah, I'm actually from Kenya, but back there I'm from Kiambu. I'm from Kiambu. That is where I've been born and raised. I always say I'm a Kenyan by birth. At the same time, I'm also from foreign KRC, just the neighboring country in Uganda.
Oh, you're from Uganda?
Yeah, sure.
That's why now many people confuse you.
But I really do not carry the accent from Uganda.
Maybe from the facial look.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm from Kiambu. Raised by a single mom with 2 siblings. Those are 2 sisters, so this makes me the only man of the house at my home.
You're the firstborn or the...
Yeah, I'm the firstborn. At the same time, I do have my 2 sisters. One is currently in her Form 4, and the other is Form 2.
Wow.
Both at national schools,
So when did you guys come from Uganda and start living in Kiambu?
Okay, just as I said earlier, I have been born and raised in Kiambu. So in Uganda side, I only go, you know how we always say tunapelekwa kutembelea mashosh times is December and stuff. So that is how it has been in my family. Like mom used to take us to the rural to greet church, and most of the extended family that is still residing there. And then we sojourn for a few weeks or days, then we come back. So
because you're from the radio, and many people maybe don't know exactly who is that person, maybe being a journalist, most people they are familiar with you through the sound or through the voice that you use. It's not a TV, you can see that these people see me. So maybe you can do a little bit of news, how you start, so that maybe people can know who is that person.
Okay. Well, quite a challenge there, because we have to do every preparation in a newsroom, but it is very much okay as a journalist. So maybe you've heard of this sound somewhere, and this is how I personally do it. Well, a very good afternoon to you, dear listener. Welcome to 98.8 FM Chuka University Radio, and this is the 9 p.m. chronological Thursday news edition. My name is Alvin, Bendeta. Before we proceed, let's have a look at the highlights. And here today we are at the Comrades TV show.
Wow.
Yeah.
At least now the viewers can tell whose voice is that.
Yeah, sure.
Wow, that's nice.
Thank you.
Alvin, what keeps you going in your journey as a journalist? Yeah, you can tell us.
Let me say my passion for journalism began back then when I was in class 8, but I came to realize it fully when I joined my Form 1 course in high school. And how it came up, back then in primary, I was absolutely confused on what I am purposed to do in life. You know how you'd be asked, what do you want to be? This time I'd say I want to be a pilot. This other time I'd say I want to be a doctor. You know, the big types of careers. But when I joined, when I almost accomplished my class 8, there is something that, let me say, you see this thing that speaks deep within you.
Sure.
You're like, I look at the television and I'm like, these guys really inspire me at some point. I remember I used to look at JK and I'm like, wow, I just love the posture. I love how he communicates, how he does things in the interviews, like in Hussein Mohammed, and I'm like, I think to now, this is what I want to do, and I think this is my purpose in life. So from class 8, that is how it was, and joining Form 1, I now ventured deeply into it because that is the point when I needed to know more of what journalism is. Thank God I had people who were there to hold my hand. So these guys really inspired me through public speaking on assemblies. During assemblies, I joined the debate club. I used to represent the school during events that would entail public speaking. So that is how I got to love journalism broadly. So on finishing my Form 4 course, I was like, I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist. I have a stand that I'm a journalist. So even kuchagua course to come into campus, I can assure you that I chose all journalism. That is how I'm a journalist up to date.
Wow. Built you up,
yeah, sure,
to become a journalist.
Very true.
And so what made you like being in Chuka University? There's one thing that keeps you going now. That's what I wanted to hear from you.
Okay. One thing that motivates me and keeps me going is that there is a place for anyone out there despite whatever you want to do.
Sure.
And I'd quote one of the famous authors by the name Zig Ziglar, who says that the greatest challenge of any venture to start is always the beginning part.
Sure.
But the moment you have picked up from it, then be definitely sure that at the end, how you give yourself into it is what will determine. So my motivation is I'm looking forward to be one of the best journalists and the greatest journalists who are around the world. And just to appear the best in the journalism industry.
Where would you love to work after maybe your fourth place, like in a station, something of that kind?
Let me say for now, Ronnie, I really wouldn't say I'd have a specific place to work, but of course we always look at the greater side. Everyone, you always have an aim and a goal.
Sure.
At least someday I'd be so happy if I find myself in BBC, in stations like CNN, you know, but anything great has to start small.
Sure.
So no matter where I'll have to start, I'll appreciate, because I'll have to give my best to that so that I may rise every step in a process. Yeah.
So, and you get some challenges in your journey?
Definitely, in all ventures you have to have challenges.
Sure. I'm
pretty sure anyone in any field will say this is the challenge that we pass through.
Exactly.
And as journalists, it is no an aside career, because you'll find at times it really calls for time management, it really calls for time balance. For instance, in any news preparation, personally, or how I do it, I have to be in the studio. Now that I'm working with the radio department in the news sector, I have to be 4 hours prior to the time that news will be going on air.
Wow.
So this means that in my setup for the day, in my schedule, I'll have to assign a pretty much 4 to 5 hours before something that has to go for 10 minutes. So that calls for time management. Another thing,
before to cut you short, how do you balance the two? How do you balance the two?
Now that I've spoken on
now
time
that
management.
you're a student, at the same time you want to be a journalist at the radio. So how do you balance your time to go to class and come back to the radio station?
It is not an easy journey, but we're always told commitment makes you get what you want. Actually, I do work in the radio. I'm also a student. I also have other side hustles out here. So you find at times it's quite time engaging and pressurizing, but it is for you to wake up and schedule your day. For instance, because of classes, so and that is the main thing currently. So I really wouldn't be in the radio when I'm supposed to be in class. So what I do, I'll just speak out to my editor, who will maybe assign or allocate to a different person so that I may attend class. But if at all I'm not in class and my schedule is probably today 4 p.m, then I'll be into the studio at least 1 p.m. And probably I'd wake up for my other side hustles from morning. See, it just calls for time balance and time management. Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest challenges that you have.
It's a discipline. It's really not a challenge. It's a discipline.
It's a discipline.
We all learn to grow through disciplines.
Oh, that's a little bit challenging. For me, I call it a challenge because most of times I find it being very hard to manage my time very well. I find it very hard, but at least I make it. So at least you have got to know about that one. In 5 years to come, I love asking people about this. Where would you love to be?
Where I would love to be. Right now my dream is actually after finishing my fourth year course, I pursue masters. After pursuing masters, then I get out to the world. So this means it will take approximately 2 years from now for me to finish pursuing masters too, and then this remains with 3 years in the 5 years that you've precisely asked me. So with the remaining the first part of the 3 years, I'll be out and venture into any journalism industry. I'd love to let me say I can do a whole I'm a whole journalist. I can do articles, I can do scripting, I can work in the field, anything that entails the journalism industry. So I'd be so glad if I just be in any big media house doing my thing and my stuff alongside my journalism colleagues.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
And do you have a role model in journalism industry?
Yeah, I do have a role model.
Can you touch a little bit on them?
Okay. To counter that, let me say, in journalism, personally, I do have a godfather who tells me, you have to be the best version of yourself. And this is one thing that really counts when you venture into journalism. If at all you fail to depict and exude who you really are, then you'll fail making a brand. One of the lies that we live in life is to try living a life that is not our own. You try living like someone else's life. So with journalism, what I come to learn is, do not aspire to be exactly like the other person, but get the attributes that they make to be better, or the perfection they look for in whatever they do, so that how I want to make my brand may also come out clearly following some disciplines that I have laid on the table. Yeah, so I want to be the best version of Alvin Bendeta, that when I speak, it will be Alvin Bendeta, and not a different journalists that I have probably mimicked or imitated on how they do things. But my role model stands out to be, Hussein Mohammed, the like of Jeff Koinange. Those two really inspire me. And someday I'd be so happy if I'm somewhere and we have a chit chat just like we're having. Not really because I produce the bass. Actually, I do not have the strong voice as maybe they do.
That of Jeff Koinange.
But at least my voice can stand out as a brand.
It can be a unique
brand. Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's nice, Alvin. Maybe you can tell one to your people who love listening to you when you are doing the news bulletin. Yeah, you can tell one to them, the comrades.
Oh, sure. Well, dear viewers, thank you so much. Thank you very much for hosting me. I'm really so much grateful.
You're welcome.
Well, my dear listeners and viewers of Chuka University Radio 98.8 FM, thank you very much for always remaining loyal to our sounds. Yes, this is Alvin Bendeta. I do the country music show. Thank you so much for those who are always with me every other Sunday through the country music aisle. You see, as you sail that ship from 1 to 4 p.m. At times it's not always easy because SMS unangoja pale hazingi, or sometimes you're wondering, do you really have people who are listening to you? But my listeners are so loyal. Thank you very much for always keeping it locked and for encouraging us. Those of you who even buy us lunch, I sure do have people.
You're such guys who buy you lunch.
Actually, that is why I'm telling you, this is an interesting bit of journalism. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
When you're seen to the world, there is some light you share to people. You see, just like how you will be a blessing through giving,
sure,
your sound will bless people out there. And yeah, these are some of the little things that God blesses us in such an industry with.
Amazing.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, guys.
What are the times that you're in radio so that people can know whenever you're in radio, they tune in? You know, most people, yeah, they need to know that one.
Okay. Normally, because of shift of the timetable in doing the news, so I wouldn't have a precise time for giving out a time when I do the news bulletin. But for the current season, I've been placed at Thursday and Friday 4 p.m. and on Friday 4 p.m. too. On Fridays, we always have our political arena where we analyze matters to do with politics in the nation. Immediately after the 9 p.m. news, you'll also get me there. And on Sundays, every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., I'm always there at 98.8 FM Chuka University Radio with country music.
Yeah.
I was actually so glad seeing you with the, what do you call the curve?
Fieldova.
Yeah, the Fieldova. It just reminded me, oh, would I have carried mine probably?
Oh my God. By the way, you would have carried yours so that these people can know you are that country boy, country music boy.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much, our esteemed viewers. Thank you for keeping loyal. Thank you for trusting Comrades TV show. As I always tell you, many more is coming. In your comment section, please remember to tell me who to bring next. May God bless you.